Am I the stupid for removing my boyfriend from his sister's engagement party? So I used to wet the bed as a child. I stopped when I was a teenager and have only really had accidents since if I've been sick. Well, that all changed a few nights ago when I wet the bed for no good reason. Somehow I didn't notice until I woke up in the morning. I was horrified and cleaned and did a load of laundry before leaving for work. My boyfriend Roger came over in the afternoon and saw me finishing up the laundry. I figured that I would tell him about the night's incident, and included that I had a history of bedwetting, and asked him not to tell anybody. We had his sister's engagement party coming up, and I know that sometimes he gets carried away when telling stories, and I didn't want his family knowing this rather sensitive secret of mine. Well, a few days later, it's the day of the engagement. Roger drinks some champagne, and suddenly I hear him telling his friends, Thomas and Chris, about how he found the stain on my mattress and, OMG, the house stunk so bad. And him and his friends were finding this hilarious, but I was mortified, especially because I had put a decent amount of effort into cleaning up after myself, and making sure that nothing showed or smelled. I could see Roger's sister and some of her friends and family looking over at us, and I can only imagine that they heard. Here's where I might be the stupid. I marched over to Roger and told him that we were leaving. Thomas and Chris asked why, and I said that we had a doctor's appointment the next day and had to be up early. We had already been at the party for a few hours, so nobody really questioned us, though the whole way out Roger was complaining that I was ruining the event. The next morning, I asked Roger why he would talk about the one thing that I explicitly asked him not to talk about. This is not the first time that he's brought up embarrassing things about me, and I'm tired of him doing it. He said that he was drunk so he couldn't think that clearly, and that if I'm really so upset, I should just tell everybody that everything he said was a lie as he was intoxicated. I said that I felt like I couldn't trust him, and that if he can't trust himself to behave responsibly when drunk, he shouldn't get drunk. He said that I can't stop him from getting drunk, as he's not doing anything dangerous, and it wasn't like he shouted in front of his entire family. He said that most people would forget in a few days. I started crying and said that his entire family might not have heard, but they could have heard, and he told me that I was paranoid. So, Reddit, am I paranoid? I feel like I might be being overdramatic, but this event brought up a lot of shame from a childhood, and I want to trust my boyfriend not to humiliate me in front of his family.